Shalom, everyone. This is Rabbi Allen, and I am outside today. It's a little nippy here in Florida. I'm sure if you're up north, for you it's a nice day, and you probably would be running around in t-shirts and shorts at this weather. But for us in Florida, it's a little nippy. Before we get to our Yeshua in the Torah for the portion for the week, I would like to announce that my new book. It is The Hidden Secrets of the Passover Haggadah, is now out on Amazon, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more next week and maybe during the week. But I'm excited about it. It's a great book. It has some great life-changing gems in it about the Haggadah that everyone uses around the world. There are different versions of Haggadahs, but I'm using the Maxwell House Haggadah that thousands and thousands and thousands of Jewish homes have used since 1932. Okay, so let's get to our portion today. This week's portion is Shemot, names, and it's the first portion from the book of Exodus. And so we read in this portion, Shemot, which is Exodus 1 through 6:1, and the corresponding Haftarah portion is Isaiah 26:6 through 28:13. In this portion, we would read about the birth of Moses, we would read about the burning bush, we would read about God's name, when Moses asked God's name, and we would read about the first encounter that Pharaoh has with Moses, or with Moses has with Pharaoh. So let's get right into it. I want to read a couple of verses here from the scriptures. The encounter with God we're going to read about in the burning bush, and God tells Moses to go to Pharaoh and to tell Pharaoh that he is to allow the children of Israel to go out of Egypt. And so in Exodus 3:13, it says, "Then Moses said to God, 'Indeed, when I come to the children of Israel, and I say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they say to me, what is his name? What shall I say to them?'" And so, we have to understand the background of the children of Israel while they were in slavery for centuries. All of the Egyptians had names for gods and goddesses. This was part of their idol religion. And so all the gods and goddesses were given different names. So that's what they had been experiencing for all of these hundreds of years. So for them, it's not unusual that they would say, well, what is the name of your God, the God of Israel? What is your name? And so in Exodus 3:14, it says, and so God said to Moses, and this is how I translate actually from the Hebrew, he says, I am that I am. Thus you shall say to the children of Israel that I am has sent me to you. And so when we read it in the Hebrew, we see the tetragram Yod He Vav He. In Judaism, we don't even pronounce it. It's an unpronounceable name. And so what God said to Moses is loosely based as I am which I am. And so this was a concept that God was giving Moses, that he is the eternal one who always will be, and that he is timeless and eternal. That's what he was giving Moses, this concept not an actual name of God's actual name, but he would be known as the Eternal One. So what about Messiah Yeshua? Messiah in the Torah. So what about Messiah Yeshua? Well, in a few instances, Yeshua identified himself as the eternal and timeless one. And so I want to read just a little bit of scripture here. This is from the book of John, John chapter 8. It says, the Jewish leaders questioned Yeshua and asked him, are you greater than your father Abraham, who is dead? And the prophets who are dead? Whom do you make yourself out to be? And Yeshua answered them by saying, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. And he says it. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. Most assuredly, I say to you, before Abraham was, I am. And so that is the concept that God answered Moses. He said, I am that I am, or I am who will always be. And so when Yeshua said to the leaders that before Abraham, I am, and they knew who he was identifying himself to be. That he was identifying himself to be the eternal one and the timeless one. Because it says that they took up stones to throw to him, to stone him to death. They hated Yeshua because he was indeed identifying himself as God in the flesh. After all, if by him saying, before Abraham was, I am, and it didn't mean that he was the eternal, timeless one, they would have laughed at him, they would have cursed him, but they wouldn't have wanted to kill him, because to say that you are God is blasphemy. And so we know that when Yeshua says he is God, it's not blasphemous, because it's the truth, that Yeshua is God that came in the flesh. And so that's it for this week. If you like my video, please, there's a thumbs up below. You can click it, give it a like, thumbs up. You can share it with friends and family. Above, you can cut and paste the address from YouTube, or you can go back to your Facebook page where you originally might have seen this and shared it with friends and family through your Facebook page. Or you can subscribe to my channel. Below, there is a subscribe button. You can click that, and it will take you to my channel, Rabbi on the Fly, and then you'll have access to all of my videos that I have produced for Yeshua in the Torah as I go through the weekly Torah portions each and every week. So until next week, this is Rabbi Allen bidding you peace. Shalom, shalom.